Greetings, witches. This is a video 4 of my How to Read Tarot series. And in this one, we're going to explore the common themes of each number across the suits. So the common themes of the 2s, the 4s, the 10s, and the court cards as well. So the first card in every suit is the ace. So you can look at each ace. Here we have the wands, the cups, the pentacles, and the swords. So in each card, you can see that the suit is being handed to you by the hand of God. If you don't like the word God, you can say the universe is presenting something. It's something new coming from nothing. It is a new beginning. So those are the key words for the ace, is new beginnings. It's about potential, new ideas, raw energies, opportunities, excitement, expansion, and the start of something new. It's all about new beginnings and emotions. In truth, in logic, in inspiration, in money, and ventures. So that is the ace. Now if you go on to the 2 of each suit, now these are all about balance and decisions, duality, choices, harmony. So he's trying to balance 2 pentacles, 2 coins. This is about, again, choices. This is about balance and partnership. And here we have choices, but those are also very balanced. So the 2s we can say are about balance and duality. So we have 3s. The key word for the 3s are initial completion. So 3s are about growth, collaboration. You add the number 1 ace card with the number 2 card, and you have something new in the 3. It's the first fruits of your labor. It's about growth, collaboration. He's ready for his journey. He's about to leave. They're celebrating their initial success. This is the start of something, the initial completion and continuation. This one hasn't gone so well. Here we have the 4s, which are about, the keywords here are stability and structure. Stability and structure. Foundation, order, security, sometimes stagnation or need for a pause. The 5s are all about conflict and change. You can see a lot of conflict here. Conflict, and the need for change. Sometimes it's a wake-up call to change your perception. Instability, loss, disruption. Something is causing conflict or change. Now with 6s, we have harmony and recovery. These all look pretty harmonious. So it's about moving away from conflict and solutions to the conflict from the 5. So each suit shows a journey. So the 7s are about assessment and reflection. It's about inner work, evaluation, strategy, spiritual growth, and reevaluating your path. They're kind of all contemplating where they are now. 8s are about movement and mastery. It's about action, power, speed, development of skills. It also has to do with the affinity, because 8 on its side is the infinity symbol. And about the ability to change. So movement and mastery for the 8s. The 9s are about fulfillment and nearing completion. They're all looking at what they have. Fruition is near completion. Things are going to intensify. It's about independence. They're doing it on their own. They're have all this accomplishment behind them. So fulfillment and nearing completion. Now the 10s are about completion and new cycles. So it's the end of the journey and your final result. So what did we end up with at the end of this journey and our completion? So one thing you can do with each number is when you take the major arcana cards, you can add them up using numerology. So the Wheel of Fortune is the 10, which is also kind of completion, because it's, your fortune's changing. You can also look at them in number 1 is like the aces, new beginnings. The High Priestess is the 2, balance and duality. Initial completion with the Empress, and so on and so forth. Now when you get to the higher numbers, this is 12, which is a 3, and 3s are initial completion. You can add up the Tower, which is 16, which is a 7. 7s are about assessment and reflection. That's another way to read the major arcana cards along with the minor. So if you're doing a reading and you see a lot of 5s, a lot of 7s, a lot of 10s, you can kind of look at that as an overreaching theme of the reading. So if you have a bunch of 5s, then you're obviously looking at a lot of conflict and change in whatever the person you're reading for is asking about. If you have a lot of 10s, you can look at that as, overall a theme of completion and new cycles. So now the court cards are a little different. They still have common themes, but they're more about people and archetypes. So either by people, it's qualities you need to evolve in yourself, someone coming into your life with those qualities, or somehow just talking about the archetypes of different qualities that people have. So the first court card is the Page. So we've got all 4 pages here. The Page is like the student in the flow of life. If you go from student to teenager to mother, father roles, this represents the student role. So in the Page, it's about youth, curiosity, exploration, new beginnings, apprentices, learning what the suit can bring. It's about, student or messenger, idealistic. So at the start of your journey, learning about each theme of each suit. Now the knights, a knight is like the teenager of the deck. And the knight is all about action. They're called the action taker. You can see they're all mounted on horseback because they're action, they're moving, they're adventurous, they are impulsive, they're moving to more worldly experiences, but they don't have the stability yet. They're prone to extremes, restlessness, outwardly apply the suit that they belong to. They want to make a mark. They're chasing goals and championing choices. Now, the next one we have are the queens, the matriarchs of the deck. So the major arcana queen, some people say is the Empress, but the queen's keyword is inner master. So she is about maturity and mastery, introspection. They embody the suit that they're part of, and they radiate that energy out of them. They're inwardly mature adults, and they lead by example through intuition. They're also very supportive and creative. So they take the suit, the sword, the pentacle, the wand, the cup, and they internalize it and they use their intuition and then they radiate that out. It's all about that internal knowing and intuition. So the last card of each suit is the King. The King of Wands, the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords. Now the King is the outer master. They're about authority, control, leadership, expertise. They project the energy of the suit outwardly. They want to control their environment. They're stable, authoritative. They establish structure, mastery, and they build legacy. So they really are the final card of each suit because they're taking the essence of each suit and projecting it with authority to build the structures and the legacies that are out in the world for everybody. And those are the common themes of the numbers. So the biggest thing about reading tarot is using your intuition. Try to pick out something from each card that means something to you and how it makes you feel. And then you can look at the whole read all together and pull that inner intuition. But the foundation of that is learning each card. So my next videos, I'm going to go through each card of each suit. So I'll do 4 videos, 1 for each suit, and go through each card individually. Have a great day, witches.